Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and today it's time for some more Sex in the City. That's right. We're going to talk about Sex in the City again. That's right. Everyone's favorite show from the late 90s and the early 2000s. At least if you were, a woman or gay, it was your favorite show. I actually love the show, okay? My name's Diego. I've watched every single episode of Sex in the City. I've watched all 94 episodes. I watched both movies, and I watched that piece of shit show. And just like crap, I've already reviewed it. That abomination is on this channel if you want to watch my videos on that. Okay, but we're not talking about that show today. We're talking about the good show. Okay, back when the show was good. Sex in the City. Okay, the original show, all right? The episode that we're going to talk about today is the last episode of Season 5. I believe. Yeah, Season 5. It's the last episode. The season was only 8 episodes long, all right? This season came out in 2002. Okay, so not much happened. I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but not really that much. One of the things they point out in this episode is Carrie complains that she didn't have a boyfriend this season. She doesn't say it like that, but she says, like, I can't believe it's been a year I haven't had a boyfriend. Well, what she really means is that the writers didn't give her a boyfriend this season, all right? She fucked. She got laid, but she had no relationship, all right? So that's there. I don't think anybody had a relationship, really. Nobody had a relationship this season, I don't think. Let me think. I don't think anybody had a relationship this season. I mean, Samantha broke off hers in like the second episode, of this season. So it was kind of a fucked up season. But a lot of things happened, and it was pretty good. Okay, so just to give you a heads up about my show here, what I do here on this YouTube channel is I talk about Sex and the City from a straight man's point of view. Okay, that means that I'm just going to talk to you the way I'd be talking to anybody. Okay, when I first watched this show some 20-something years ago, the show would drop on a Sunday night on HBO. The next day at work, me and my friend were at school, me and my friends, my girlfriends, we would all talk about the show. Okay, the episode that we just watched. Okay, like we would be shocked or whatever was going on here. I'm very unfiltered. I was always the guy that gave you the straight guy's point of view, even back then. Okay, because nobody else talked about the show except girls and gay guys. All right, I was the only straight guy that I knew that was actively watching this show on a regular basis. I knew who all the characters are. I knew the personality types of all these characters. I knew what was going on. All right, and I was the only one that I knew that was watching the show. Okay, so the way I talked on this YouTube channel is the way I would talk to you if we were standing by a water cooler at work. We just watched a new episode last night, and I'm talking to you and telling you what I think about it, okay? That's the way I talk here. I'm completely unfiltered, okay? I'm going to tell you the honest God truth, okay? I'm going to give you that point of view that you never got in real life, okay? When you were watching this show before with your girlfriends or your gay friends and your boyfriend wasn't there or he wasn't paying attention because it's a fucking chick show, all right? I'm going to tell you the stuff that he would have told you if he was being honest with you, okay? I'm going to tell you what your dad should have told you if he'd watched the show, but he didn't fucking watch the show, did he? Okay? I'm going to tell you all the stuff that your brother should have told you, your husband should have told you, but they didn't watch the show either, so they didn't fucking tell you shit. I'm going to fucking tell it to you. I watched it already. Okay? I watched it just like you did. I know what I'm talking about. I know these characters. All right? So I'm going to tell you the honest God truth, okay? I'm going to separate the fact from the fiction, okay? There's a lot of fucking fiction in this show, okay? A lot of fucking bullshit that would never happen in real life. The biggest problem I had with the show was I did not like the way they portrayed the straight characters, okay? The guys that were dating these women, that were having sex with these women, the way those guys were portrayed on the show was a complete abomination. It's not the way real guys act. It's not the way straight guys act, okay? That's the only problem I have with the show. Everything else I loved. The characters, the settings, the jokes, all that stuff was on point and perfect, okay? What I didn't like, okay, was the way they depicted the straight guys, okay? Now, every once in a while, they did get it right, though, okay, with the straight guys. They did get it right, okay? And, we're going to be talking about that, too, okay? Yes. All right. So here we go. Okay. If you're easily triggered, if you're easily offended, get the fuck out right now. I will not filter myself. I will not censor myself. Okay. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I don't know you. Okay. But if I say something and you get pissed off about it, just fucking quit watching my channel. Okay. Because I'm not going to stop. All right. I'm telling you the honest God truth. All right. And this is it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, this episode is Season 5, Episode 8 of Sex and the City. The title of this episode is called I Love a Charade. I Love a Charade. There's a lot going on here. This might be a two-parter review, okay? Because there's a lot going on. Like I said, it's the season finale. Okay, so they always cram in a lot of shit and try to wrap up as many plot points as they can in the last episode of the season. Okay, that's what they're trying to do here. Okay, so this starts off with the girls all go out to some piano bar. There's a guy named Bobby Farron, who's this famous piano player in New York. Okay, now I lived in the big city at the time. I lived in Chicago, and I used to go to these things all the fucking time. Piano bars and stuff. It's very fun, especially like dueling piano bars and stuff. There's a famous guy named Bobby Farron in this episode, okay, who all the girls love him. They're really good friends with him. In fact, this is the first and only time we will ever fucking see him, as far as I can remember. He might show up again. But anyway, We've never seen this guy before, but of course, all the girls are talking to him like they've known him forever, but we've never seen him before. This is our first time, the audience, this is our first time meeting this person that all the girls already knew, apparently, right? All right, so anyway, so he's playing the piano, and he's actually very good. The character of Bobby Farron is played by Nathan Lane. Now, Nathan Lane is very famous in Hollywood, very famous in New York and Broadway. Okay, the reason Nathan Lane is in here, you've probably seen him before. He played Robin Williams' husband in The Birdcage, which was a funny movie. I remember him when I was a little kid. I remember him watching him on a TV show with Dana Carvey and Mickey Rooney. Yeah, Mickey Rooney. Yeah, old man. They were on some fucking. I don't remember the name, but they're on. You can look it up, okay? They're on some sitcom back in the early '80s. I remember watching it as a little fucking kid and not knowing who the fuck Mickey Rooney was. Who's this fucking old man? Now I have the utmost respect for Mickey Rooney. I know exactly who he is now, but back then I didn't. I just remember Dana Carvey, who later on became fucking from Wayne's World. You know, he became Garth on Wayne's World, and then of course Nathan Lane. And I didn't even know what gay people were back then. I was a little kid. But anyway, Nathan Lane's very famous. He's openly gay and all that stuff. Okay. Now, another reason he's in this episode, besides the fact that I got to admit, okay, Nathan Lane's a very talented guy. He's hilarious in this role, okay? He's very, very funny. They already got a funny gay guy in Anthony, okay? But Nathan Lane is just he's a walking party, okay? He has the best lines. He makes the best jokes. He's very, very, very self-confident, very witty. Okay, I love this character. Okay, this Bobby Farron character. You would have to have an incredible big personality in order to fucking, be able to entertain a whole bunch of people, and not just with your music. Okay, you gotta be basically a stand-up comedian and be really good at playing music at the same time. And he nails both of them. Very personable, very likable. Okay, now Nathan Lane in real life. Nathan Lane starred on Broadway, okay, with Sarah Jessica Parker's husband, Matthew Broderick. Yes, Ferris Bueller. For those, I'm sure you all knew that already. Okay, but yes, Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane were headliners for this show called The Producers, which is a Neil Simon Broadway show, and they did this show on Broadway for like fucking 10 years. Okay, straight. Okay. I mean, so Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, Sarah Jessica Parker's husband, are very, very good friends in real life. They probably go to each other's houses in the Hamptons all the fucking time. So it's not much of a stretch for Sarah Jessica Parker, who is a producer on the show, to get one of her buddies, or her fucking husband's co-worker to show up in an episode of Sex and the City. And he fucking nails it. He's really, really good. Nathan Lane he's really good here. He usually plays like a beta male type character in most of the stuff that you see him in, although he can do alpha male if he wants to. He played F. Lee Bailey in the O.J. Simpson movie, the American crime history. He played F. Lee Bailey in that, and he was very, very, psychopathic in that. Okay, just like the real F. Lee Bailey. But in this one, he's just like this funny gay guy, piano player, and he's so fucking. You can't quit looking at him. He's basically stealing every scene he's in, man. He's that good. Nathan Lane is that fucking good. All right, and so of course he nails it here. He kills it here. Okay, as this character named Bobby Farron, this famous piano player, nightclub guy. Okay, whatever. So the girls are all there. They're enthralled by his music. They're enthralled with his jokes. Okay, they all like him. He's like I say, he's very good friends with everybody there. Okay, and what do you call it? So that's going on here. There's this woman named Mitzi Von Lovely. Okay, now she's this older woman. Very skinny, older lady, okay? And I guess she's there. She's very rich or stuff, And she's there too, and she's watching them play, okay? And she shows up while Bobby Farron is talking to the women, talking to the four leads of the show, okay? He goes up to their table, okay? And so they're all watching him. They're all having a great time. And Charlotte's there, and what do you call it? Apparently Samantha knows Mitzi Von Lovely. She did her PR before on something, and what do you call it? Charlotte doesn't feel like she belongs here because she's not much of a theater person, you could say. And she says I didn't like cats, Apparently, Bobby Farron was an original producer for A Chorus Line, that famous musical that they made a piece of shit movie out of back in the early 80s that I unfortunately watched, but luckily I was too young to understand what the fuck I was watching. Okay, but yeah, so apparently he's like super rich, so he's not with this Mitzi Von Lovely for her money. Apparently he's got his own money. But Charlotte doesn't feel like she belongs. She's not a fan of cats. She lets out loud that fucking, hey, I didn't like cats. To Bobby, and Bobby, he goes over, he's like, waiter, sense of humor, table 4. which is pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious. Okay. Apparently, Bobby Farron announces to the ladies that he's getting married next week. They're going to have the wedding at his house in the Hamptons. And the women are all invited. And so, Carrie thinks it's a joke because everybody knows that Bobby Farron is gay. Okay. He's fucking as queer as they come. Okay. $3 bill queer. Okay. Which is not a stretch on this show. Okay. Pretty much every third guy on this show is gay. Okay. Most of the recurring guy characters on the show are gay. All right. And he's just another one. Okay. In real life and on the show. And so Carrie starts laughing when he says, "Hey, I'm getting married." She's like, she thinks it's another joke, but no one else is laughing except for Carrie. And then she's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I did it, Carrie. I found the one." Yeah, right. Of course, it's Mitzi Von Lovely, this old, skinny woman. I mean, she's got to be like at least in her mid-50s, maybe even 60s, okay? She's not very attractive, but I think that's the point, that's the point, is that she is not very attractive. She's probably a very lonely woman, and she's got all this money, and she's got no one to share her life with, So he tells her, "Yeah, I'm enfianced now, I finally met the right girl." And then he kisses Mitzi in front of all the girls, and they're all like confused, like, what the fuck? Like, he's supposed to be gay. Why is he kissing a woman? And they're invited, okay? And then he tells everyone, "I have to go tinkle," 'cause that's something a gay person would say. Okay, and Charlotte's like, "I thought he was gay." And yeah, and the girl's like, "Yeah, he is gay." And Samantha's like, he must be marrying her for the money. And then Carrie's like, "No, he's got his own money. He was an original investor in Chorus Line back in the day. So yeah, he's pretty loaded himself." Okay. And Miranda says, like, gayer than Mr. Broadway has to go tinkle. Like, that's the gayest thing anyone can say, And, so that's going on here. Carrie points out that in 1988, she says, in 1988, Bobby Farron, he sold his nightclub in New York and decided he was going to spend the rest of his life in Nicaragua helping out Nicaraguan kids. Okay? He was going to help feed starving Nicaraguan kids. Okay? The kids in Nicaragua are still waiting. They're still hungry. So this wedding is not going to happen. Girls, it's not going to happen. And then she gets an invitation. Yeah, it's happening. Okay, so all the girls are having lunch now. They're not at the club anymore, like they always do every episode. And Miranda says, like, Mitzi should say, "I'm older and need companionship," because that's what's really going on here. Okay? And Bobby should say that, hot men don't go for me anymore. And she said, and Miranda says, and this whole facade here, this whole charade is offensive. Okay, well, you know what? I think Miranda's being kind of a hypocrite here. It's offensive. Like the two people want to get married. That's offensive. I guess to her it is, but she is that way. That's her personality type. Okay, so that's going on here. Carrie says, like, "Well, I guess you won't be my date to the wedding then, Miranda." And Samantha goes like, "I was a fool to break up with Richard. He has this beautiful house in the Hamptons and we could have stayed there for the wedding. I could have planned the whole party there." Because, like I said, Mitzi and Samantha have worked together before. Samantha's in charge of the reception. She's in charge of the party afterwards. She's got to decide the whole thing. And her ex-boyfriend, Richard, you all remember Richard, the player, the hotel player, he's got a house in the Hamptons that would have been perfect for them to use, but they broke up. Okay, Samantha just broke up with him like on a dime, just because other women, younger, hotter women, found him attractive. And that pissed off that Samantha's insecurity could not handle the fact that younger, hotter women than her wanted her boyfriend. It kind of pissed her off, especially since him and her were like the same age, but all the young, hot girls wanted him, and the guys didn't necessarily want Samantha. Okay, which is gonna blow to her ego because that's just hypergamy. I mean, that's just sexual market value. Okay, Richard can pull in a lot of hot young women. Samantha cannot pull in a lot of hot young men unless they're desperate or just fucking horny. But she can't keep any of them. That's the problem. Samantha can get laid because she's she's a reasonably attractive woman. She is. I mean, I'd fuck her myself. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I'd have sex with her too. Okay, but it's going to be hard for her to get a high value man like Richard. There's a lot more blokes out there than there is high value men like Richard and Big, those type of guys, all right? And Samantha can't really get those guys. I know sometimes the show will show you that she did, but in real life, I mean, come on, it's just not going to happen, all right? So Samantha's like, I was a fool to break up with Richard. He has a fabulous house in the Hamptons. And Miranda says, I will not be part of this charade. Because she's upset that everybody knows that Bobby's gay. And Mitzi obviously is straight. And like they're only getting married for fucking stupid reasons. Like they don't believe that he's actually in love with her and getting married to her for love. They don't believe that at all. And you know what? I wouldn't believe it either. I won't believe it. But a lot of people get married for reasons other than love, other than sexual compatibility. I mean, if you look at Hollywood in general, I mean, my God, dude, a lot of these lavender marriages, were done just for publicity. They were just done to keep the reporters off the scent of what's really going on here. Especially in the golden age of Hollywood. Guys like Rock Hudson. I mean, women were shocked in the 80s when it turned out he was gay. Huh? What, Rock? Because he was like the number one fucking chick flick actor in the 1950s. And it turns out he was fucking gay and nobody knew. Well, nowadays, everyone's open about it. Even people that aren't gay are saying they're gay just so they can fucking fit in Hollywood right now, okay? But back then, it wasn't that way, okay? And this is just another example of it, okay? Like, here's this guy marrying a woman when everybody knows he's gay, but he's doing it anyway, so it must be for another reason. And everybody's aware of that. So the whole idea to pretend that they're doing it for love, I can understand Miranda's point of view, but still, I wouldn't fucking, I wouldn't fucking tell everyone, hey, it's wrong because, people get married for different reasons, okay? Not everyone gets married for fucking love, all right? Anyway, so that's that, If it's two consenting adults, then fuck it. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to get married, let them get married, okay? Miranda says she won't be a part of the charade. Charlotte says, do they still have sex? I wonder. Samantha's like, everyone quits having sex when they're married, okay? No one has sex anymore once they're married, okay? I fuck married men, all right? I know this. That's how I know. All right, so Carrie says, well, how do you sustain a relationship without the zha-zha-zhoo? She said, what? The zha-zha-zhoo? What the fuck is that? The zha-zha-zhoo, the butterflies, the feelings, The butterflies, even if it fades, you still have the memories. So Charlotte is a romantic. She's hopeless romantic, okay? She is going to fuck as many guys as she has to in order to find that guy that's going to make her feel the butterflies, okay? That's basically her philosophy. She's not a slut because she's doing it for love, right? Bull fucking shit. She's a fucking slut, all right? She's a fucking slut. How about this, Carrie? How about you get to know guys first, find out about them, and then have sex with them, okay? Instead of the other way around. Okay, maybe your body count wouldn't have been as high, okay? Because the more guys you fuck, the less attractive you are to those guys that you want. You see what I mean? That's the honest to God truth. Whether you fucking like, I don't care if you don't like it, ladies. It's the fucking truth. Any guy with any sort of fucking self-respect, okay, is not gonna fuck a girl or not gonna be in a relationship with a girl that's got a higher body count than fucking Hitler. It's just not gonna fucking happen. All right? You can watch all the fucking chick flicks you want and believe all that kind of bullshit, okay? This show is written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. Is there one thing they don't fucking understand is how a straight man thinks. Luckily, you got me. I do know how a straight man thinks, okay? And this is how a straight man thinks. Yes, you can have sex. Yes, that's not difficult. Relationships are more difficult for the kind of guy that you want, okay? Because now it's not just about what you look like. Okay, if a guy's considering you as a relationship, okay, unless the guy's insecure. If he's insecure, he'll fucking take you immediately. Okay, but you don't really want those kind of guys, all right? You really don't want those kind of guys, okay? But if the guy has any sort of self-confidence, he's going to want to get to know you first before he decides to put a ring on it, okay? And if what he knows about you besides your looks is fucking, oh yeah, she's fucked a shitload of fucking guys, then, it's like, no, you're not the kind of woman I want to fucking have children with. You're not the kind of woman I want to fucking share my life with and my fucking money with, okay? Yeah, no, not at all, not at all, not at all. Okay, you're wondering why guys aren't getting married anymore? This is why, okay? Because they have seen the guys that do get married for shit like this, and they've seen what happens to them. And they don't want that to happen to them. So they fucking decide, hey, better, why buy, if a guy's got a high sexual market value, if he's a player, he's already getting pussy thrown at him left and right. Why the fuck does he need to marry it to get it on a regular basis? He doesn't, Why buy the cow when the milk's free, right? It's true. Okay, that's why if you got a guy who's like fucking all these hot young women, there's not very many guys can pull this off. But the ones that are, these are the ones that all the women want. Okay, but why would a guy like that settle down for one woman when he's got so many different flavors coming at him from all different directions? You see what I mean? Okay, why would he give that up to be with one? You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about here. Okay. So Carrie talked about the Zazazoo. It's some fucking made up word that she made. All right. So Miranda says, like, whatever you want to do, okay, you should just be straight with me. She's talking about the relationship, in her own terms. What if she was married? What if she was in a relationship with a guy who was gay, and she'd be like, she's like, I don't care what you do, as long as you're straight with me first. And Carrie says, like, I think that's how Mitzi proposed to Bobby, actually, which is kind of funny. I got to admit, that was a funny line. Some very good funny lines in this episode, okay? So Charlotte reveals to the other women, she reveals that she's been seeing someone. Ooh, yeah. And we know who it is. It's fucking Harry. That was her divorce attorney for Trey. She's seeing someone, but she says the problem is that he's bald, he's unattractive, he talks with his mouth full. Well, so does fucking Miranda. And she does it in this episode too. And yes, it is disgusting. Maybe it should be Harry marrying Miranda. Okay? He's bald, he's short, he talks with his mouth full, and I'm embarrassed to be seen with him. Because I even hate his name. Harry Goldenblatt? Well, yeah, it's a Jewish name, yeah. But on the plus side, it is the best sex I've ever had. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, that's why you close your eyes, right? Close my eyes, that was the best sex, right? Anyway, Charlotte, so she does the best sex I've ever had. Okay, well, good for her. Okay, later on, Harry and Charlotte, they're talking on her bed, because they're lovers now. Okay, and they're fucking around in the bed. And it turns out that Harry also has a house in the Hamptons. He's apparently rich too, because you got to be rich. For those of you who don't know, the Hamptons is this area just south of Manhattan, okay, where all the multimillionaires have houses there. It's like this ritzy fucking area in the New York area, okay, and you got to be rich to live there. Okay, so if you say, whenever someone in New York says, hey, yeah, I got a place in the Hamptons, what they're really saying is that I'm fucking super fucking rich and I can afford to live in that neighborhood. I can afford a house in that neighborhood. All right. It's like Beverly Hills, same thing. Okay. So, so apparently Harry also has a house in the Hamptons. Of course he does, and that he also knows Mitzi and he also was invited to the wedding. Okay. So he's already going anyway. All right. So now Charlotte's got her date. Okay. Because they all know the same people. All right. So that's going on here. And Harry was also invited. Charlotte says, like, your back is hairy. Because he's got basically a fur coat back there. Okay, he's a very hairy guy, and she's afraid to go to the reception with him. Especially by the pool. When his back is that fucking hairy. Okay, so she's like, you got to get your back whacked. He's like, hey, I was born this way. She's like, I don't care. I'm not going. How am I hanging out in the pool in a bikini when your back is a fucking sweater? Okay, you need to get your back waxed. So he's like, oh, fine, I'll do it for you, Charlotte. I'll do it for you, but I'll do it if you go with me to the wedding. Then I'll do it. Okay. So that's what happens, right? So he agrees to go with her to the wedding. Okay. Now the thesis of this episode is a relationship without the zha-zha-goo? Like I said, it's that made up word that Carrie came up with. Okay. Is a relationship without the zha-zha-goo? All right. Well, not every relationship has a zha-zha-goo. Okay. Some of them, people are just together for companionship. The way I look at it, is like your first marriage. That's your high school sweetheart. That's the butterflies. That's the love will conquer all bullshit. The second marriage, that's like, okay, well, does he have a good job? Okay, is she still able to have kids? Are we buying a house? Is the credit good? That kind of thing. What are the in-laws like? Can we afford? Can we afford that car? That kind of shit. Okay. Then the third marriage is I'm old, I'm lonely. And I can't get a hard on anymore. I just want some companionship, someone to watch some fucking old TV shows with me until I die. Okay, which is basically, so those are the three different levels of the typical American marriage. All right, so where do you fall? Exactly. Okay, so not all of them have the zha-zha-goo. Okay, now Samantha calls Richard. Of course, we don't see James Dreamer in this episode. So she's just walking, acting like a boss bitch like she always does. She gets on her cell phone and she calls Richard and she leaves him a message. And she says, like, hey, the relationship I was in with you was so taxing on me, and I had to put up with so much fucking shit. Like what? Like all those fucking free private plane rides to the fucking Bahamas, to Cancun? Yeah, you had to put up with all that shit, didn't you? All those fucking 5-star hotels that you got to stay in for free? Is that how he tortured you? It must have been. Well, all that stuff you put me through, so I feel that I deserve, since we weren't married, I still feel like I deserve a settlement. So this is what I propose. I'm going to use your house in the Hamptons for a wedding party. You're not invited. And I'm going to bring all my friends there as well. And you're still not invited. Anyway, get back to me. Thank you. If I was Richard and I got that message, this is what I would say. Well, thank you, Samantha. I got your message. Thanks for calling me back. It's been a while. How you doing? I was kind of hoping we could talk, but apparently you don't want to talk to me. So yes, I agree with you. I think, we weren't married, so I don't think that I should give you like a divorce settlement because we were never married. But I do believe you should be compensated for your time that you spent with me. So this is what I'll do. I'm willing to compromise. Okay. Tell you what I'll do. Okay. I do have that house in the Hamptons, okay? If you remember, okay, there on the second floor, there's that big bathroom up there. Okay, you are more than welcome to have unlimited access to that bathroom this weekend, okay? You can do anything you want in the bathroom, okay? But you have to let me know first because I'm about to load, because I need to load a big, huge fucking turd in the shitter first, okay? Once I've done that, I will leave it unflushed for you, and then you and all your girlfriends are more than welcome to hang out in that fucking bathroom and splash about in the toilet bowl, okay? As long as my turd remains in there, okay? You'll have unlimited access to that bathroom. As far as the rest of the house goes, you're not invited, but you can hang out in that bathroom as much as you want. Feel free to drink the shower water. Feel free to splash around inside the turd-filled toilet bowl, okay? Just make sure that you fucking clean up the bathroom when you're done, and then when you're done, you can flush the toilet, and I will check, all right? So that's my compromise to you, okay? Feel free to ask any questions you like about that. These terms are non-negotiable, okay? And go fuck yourself. There you go. That's the message I would have left for Samantha, all right? But no. No. Okay. This fucking bitch fucking papered him. Okay. You know what that means? That means that this fucking bitch put a picture of him, okay, all over her neighborhood, saying that he was a cheater. He's an asshole, a womanizer, and a cheater. She took a picture of him and put those up on every fucking tree branch, every fucking light pole in the city, in his neighborhood. And the cops let her do that. Okay. And she did not get sued. Get the fuck out of here, okay? This is Lollipop Land. This is fucking Lollipop Land, okay? Yes, he is a player, but so is Samantha, okay? She's got a higher body count than he does, honestly, because Samantha's probably been fucking a shitload of guys since she was like fucking 15. Whereas Richard probably wasn't fucking a shitload of women until he made it, until he was in his 30s, and he actually made it financially. He got promoted to that high level of position in his job. Once he got there, then he started banging all the hot young women, okay? Whereas Samantha was fucking everybody since she was a fucking preteen, more than likely, okay? So no, she's probably had a lot more than him, okay? But then once he got to middle age, he started getting a lot more, okay, himself. Okay, and he's not going to fucking give that up, okay? And she knew this about him when she got into a relationship with him. She knew this about him, okay? So fuck you, Samantha, okay? You're judging him, okay, for treating you the way you would have treated him if he had not been as successful as you are, okay? Okay, because he's more successful than Samantha is, okay? Now, Samantha dated a guy who fucking managed a fucking bookstore or some shit. She would have treated him the same way. Okay, he would have thought she was all in love with him. Then he would have caught her blowing another guy. Okay, and then if he had fucking papered her picture everywhere, she would have fucking sued him and had him put in jail. Okay, that's what would have happened. Okay, but when she does it, it's okay. Why? Because this show is written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. And in shows like this, women don't have to pay for the consequences of their fucking actions. Okay, just like in real life, right? Yeah, right. Talk to Amber Heard about that. Okay, anyway, moving right along. So that's what happens here. Okay, Miranda comes home, and Steve is there in bed. She comes home from work. She's tired. He's passed out. The baby's asleep. Okay, they're both taking a nap, and she's tired. And he tells her, he wakes up when she gets there. He tells her he likes giving the baby a bottle. He likes being there when the baby wants a bottle. He likes holding the baby in his arms while he's feeding the baby. Hey, I used to do that too with my baby, so I know that feeling. It's pretty cool. Okay, and Steve brought lilacs over. Miranda notices the flowers there, the lilacs that are there. She smells them first, and she looks over and she sees them. You know, and she decides like, okay, she's fucking horny. You know, she's still a fucking fat ass, so no hot guys are gonna hit on her. And Steve's there, who, you know, unfortunately, he's also the father of their kid, and he's there too. You know, so she's like, fuck it, I'll just fucking grudge fuck him. You know, because it's such a chore for her to fuck the father of her child. Oh my fucking God, do I have to again? Jesus fucking Christ. You know, like one of those, okay? And of course, you know, Steve is more than happy to fuck Miranda because, you know, Steve is fucking, you know, retarded. Okay, so that's going on here. Don't get me wrong, I love Steve to death, but he's got some issues. All right. Meanwhile, Miranda tells Carrie during lunch, they outdoors having fucking hot dogs or some shit, that she fucked Steve. And Carrie's like, you know, is it the Zazazoo? You know? And Miranda's like, no, okay, it's an itch. It's an itch I should not have scratched. No sex was the only thing that kept our relationship together. Okay, it gives the wrong impression, okay? Being happy is the wrong impression. And Miranda basically tells Carrie, shut the fuck up, you know? Samantha, however, gets off the phone. I guess she was talking to Richard. He did not make an appearance in the episode. He lets her use his place. I don't know why he would fucking do that. Like I said, this episode was written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. And in their world, okay, straight guys that were fucking with a high sexual market value, okay, the guys that can pull a lot of fucking hot ass, okay, are going to let some middle-aged fucking slutty bitch tell them what to do, and they're going to put up with it, okay? Bull fucking shit, okay? But like I said, you know, I'm watching this episode the way I would watch a fucking Avengers movie or some shit. Yeah, it's fun, it's entertaining, but that shit ain't going to happen in real life once I leave the theater, okay? And it's the same thing here, okay? But in this alternate fucking reality where fucking women are all boss bitches and men are all fucking simps, yes, he lets Samantha fucking use his house in the Hamptons to host the wedding reception for Bobby and Mitzi. Okay, so now Samantha's all excited. Oh my God, we're gonna use the house. Blah, 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 you know. For free, no less. For free. Yeah, like I said, fucking this shit belongs on the Sci-Fi Channel. All right. So that's going on here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so she's all excited about the wedding party. Samantha says like, oh, by the way, she looks at the baby, Brady. By the way, no shit machine allowed. Okay? He's already ruining my lunch. I'm not going to let him ruin my party. Yeah, she don't like babies. No babies! Okay, and then Miranda's like, but how am I going to find a sitter? You know, and Carrie's like, damn, there's a party pooper. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know. All right, so anyway, Carrie decides to go get some ketchup on her hot dog. So she goes over to the condiment section, and guess who shows up on his motorcycle? It's Jack Berger. That's right, my Jack Berger, all right? And the reason I say my Jack Berger is because out of all the characters on this show, out of all the straight guys on this show, this character played by Ron Livingston is probably the only straight guy on this show that I've ever seen on the show that I actually did 100% relate with him. I did understand this guy, okay? This guy was a lot like me. And in this episode, he's still acting that way. So he shows up on his motorcycle. You know, he notices Carrie. He's like, hey, Jack, remember me? She's like, oh, yeah, of course I remember you. Because she remembers that she liked him a lot, but he had a girlfriend. Remember? He had a girlfriend, so he couldn't go to her book party for the launch of her book. So she's there, and she spills some ketchup on herself because she's shocked to see him there. You know, and Jack's like, oh, do I need to make a tourniquet out of the hot dog bun for you? Because he's always making these fucking jokes, you know. And this self-depreciating humor, which is funny. You know, it's funny. I do that myself all the time. You know, so he cleans it up for her, you know, and then he takes his thumb and he rolls it across her mouth like that, you know, very like, you know, very, very, it's very suave. Yeah, guy's got some moves, I know. All right, so he does that, you know, and Carrie's like, I didn't think you were a motorcycle guy. He's like, well, I'm not. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but believe me, after my breakup, but I bought it after my breakup. And Carrie's like, well, you look good on it. He's like, no, Carrie, I don't look good on it. I look good standing next to it, okay? On it, I look like this. It's fucking good. Carrie's like, you're so I guess you're an uneasy rider. See, you can't come. He's like, by the way, I'm invited to this wedding party. Can you come with me? Okay, it's in the Hamptons. He's like, oh yeah, I heard about that. I pass that house every day when I'm on my way home. Which, unfortunately, I thought that was a joke, but it's not. He actually does have a house in the Hamptons, it turns out. But I thought it was a joke when I thought I was making a joke that he couldn't afford to live there. Oh yeah, I see that house all the time when I'm going on my way home. But no, he can't afford to live in the Hamptons. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I don't relate to you that well after all. All right, so that's going on here, and Carrie thinks that he leaves. Okay, and Carrie's like, oh, definitely the Zha Zha Zoo, wherever the fuck that is. All right, I'm expecting fucking Green Acres here. Okay, so anyway, these three hot young girls arrive at the house. We see the house in the Hamptons. The movers are there. They're bringing in all the furniture and stuff for the party, all the food and all that kind of stuff. And of course, Samantha's in charge of all of it. She's telling everyone where to go. And all of a sudden, these super hot young women show up with their big fake titties and their bikinis and shit and their marijuana, and they're just there to fucking party and get boned. Of course they are. Of course they are. And I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not. Okay, apparently these are some groupies of Richard's. Yeah, of course they are. You see what I mean, Samantha? These are the type of women that Richard would associate with. Okay? All right. This is a little bit more realistic. This is a more realistic episode. All right? So anyway, so they show up there at the party. They're there to hang out by the pool and stuff. Okay? And Samantha's like, hey, you're not allowed here. And she's like, Richard always lets us use his house on the weekends. We have an arrangement with him. Okay? So this frustrates Samantha because, like I said, she was going to use this house for the wedding reception for Bobby and Mitzi. Okay. So this frustrates Samantha. Okay, who's trying to get the house ready. Okay, the girls arrive, and Miranda did bring her baby with her to the party, even though Samantha told her not to bring her baby. She did bring her baby. So now Samantha's pissed off at Miranda. Okay. He's wearing, and she's like, hey, look, okay, my baby's wearing Ralph Lauren, all right? Okay. And Carrie also notices the hot girls over at the other end of the party, and I am not going to complain about the hot girls. I'm not. Sorry, man, it's eye candy. Look, like this show is about a bunch of middle-aged women trying to find love, okay? And now I'm seeing a bunch of young, hot women. Okay, which one do you think I want to pay more attention to? Exactly, okay? And before you start saying, hey, you're sexist, that's not fair, ageist. Okay, no, these women on the show used to be young and hot. Okay, now they're not. Okay, and what do they do with their lives? They're still fucking alone and single and with kids. So no sympathy here. Okay, so this is going to end part one of my review of this episode of the season finale of season 5, and I will be right back with the other half. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching this long. See you on the next one. Bye.